y'all. This is Dee coming to you from Player Sports and Entertainment, where we cover sports, entertainment, and hot topics with a focus on getting her perspective. Today, I want to tell you all about the most recent news for the NFL concussion trial. So, back in July of 2011, 5,000 former NFL players and their spouses sued the NFL and NFL subsidiaries, alleging that they failed to warn and protect players from the risk of concussions. They alleged that the NFL actively and knowingly concealed information that players would potentially suffer from the game. The NFL settled this class action back in 2013, and this would have prevented the public from learning what and when the NFL knew about the risk of head trauma. The trial date has been set for October 13th, 2026, and I will be glued to the TV. Keep in mind that trials are often delayed and can even be settled. So in this situation, it'll be interesting to watch because when you have opposing sides with big pockets, it could mean that the trial could go on for years. The period before you even get to trial could go on for several years because they could continue to delay it. Basically, they were trying to do prior to the date that was set for the trial, they were both basically trying to move for summary judgment. So the insurance providers for the NFL, they do not believe that they should be responsible for the 1.5 billion with a B in payouts for the settlement, of which each player can seek up to $5 million if they develop the most severe forms of football-related brain disease. The NFL believes that the insurance companies should be required to adhere to the payouts. Both the NFL and insurance companies move for summary judgment, as I stated. And for those who may not know what summary judgment is, it's basically both sides saying to the judge, like, hey, there are no genuine issues of material fact here. And what that basically means is that they're saying, hey, there's nothing to see here. Like, you shouldn't even waste the court's time. Just let's move along. If it goes to a jury, we're saying that, hey, there's no way that a jury would have enough evidence to prove the opposing party's side. So that's basically what the summary judgment is. That's what both sides were saying, that, the judge shouldn't even set a trial date. And if that would have occurred, then if the NFL won, then the insurance companies would just have to pay out that $1.5 billion. If the insurance companies won, then the NFL would have to figure out how to pay it out for themselves. Well, here the judge decided to deny both motions for summary judgment, as there is plenty to see in the matter. So the insurers say that the NFL did not notify them as soon as practicable. The NFL says that they notified the insurers of the first player's lawsuit 20 days after it was filed. But the insurers say, whoa, there was a claim. There were several claims that the NFL knew about years prior to that one suit. Also, the NFL provided a doctor's expert report, but the insurers claimed that it included no scientific evidence whatsoever. And then they provided their own expert report. The judge determined that the parties offered conflicting medical opinions regarding whether the head injuries triggered coverage or not. Basically, the bottom line here is that this could get real ugly and real public. If this goes to trial, much of the information within the settlement that the NFL sought not to disclose will likely become very public and very talked about. So the NFL, it is like to their benefit to essentially ensure that this does not go to trial. Both sides have very deep pockets, so neither really want it to go to trial. They just want to put this behind them, but with a $1.5 billion, and they're both going to be paying some legal fees. And both sides have hired some heavy hitters for the law firms to represent them, because there are several insurance companies that the NFL was insured by. They have different law firms representing them, so they'll collectively come together more than likely to go up against the NFL. So, what are your thoughts? Let me know. I'm excited to see what happens with this. Let me know your thoughts on the NFL's fight with the insurers, the concussion settlement, which will be 15 years of litigation we'll be going into in 2026 when the trial date is set to begin. And let me know how you feel about the information that's been disclosed so far about what the NFL did or did not know and about the head traumas in general. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.